We want to give a shout out to Steven with We Rock the Spectrum. We Rock the Spectrum is an inclusive sensory-based gym committed to providing a fun, safe, and welcoming environment for children of all ages and abilities. So if you're in town or in the Franklin area, please go check them out. Welcome to another episode of the Nashville Dads. This week we have on Phillip Woods of Gumbo to Go. We talk about New Orleans culture, his life as a medic, and how his company got started. He's a pretty ridiculous person, and it was a lot of fun. We hope you enjoy.
We were just watching the second of the Frozen.
Of the Frozen?
Whatever it is, of Frozen. And when they would do the...
Oh, no, it's...
Oh my God, he nailed it.
You can do it a lot
I was
better.
about to do it again too, for giggles, but no, I can't follow up after that.
Breathe.
What is the snowman's name?
Do you have auto tune on
Olaf.
over there?
Nope.
Yes.
I'm
like Olaf.
You're a bit pitchy.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I married Olaf. We've had this discussion.
Have you really?
Yes.
Should we put that in the Bible?
We can. No, yeah, we can. I love it. Her personality. It's Olaf. Not Shrek. I'm Shrek because I'm just angry all the time. Donkey. And we watched Pitch Perfect the other night because we now met and know a couple of characters from that, or the actors from that.
Oh, really?
Through Jen's job.
Cool. Oh, yeah.
What is Jen's job?
Super top secret stuff. She's a nanny for a stylist, for a celebrity stylist.
Oh, okay.
So you occasionally get like little perks and little connections from that, which is neat. But anywho, Fat Amy, that character is Jen.
Is it really?
That is the physical resemblance not the same, but the character. Oh my God, I was rolling laughing last night watching that. Awesome. Like this. Oh my God, this is my wife. This is my wife.
Okay, I'm gonna have to meet your wife,
Justin. So my wife would be Leslie Knope in Parks and Rec.
Nice. Okay.
Because she was a poli-sci major. She's very positive. She's very driven and very focused, and usually pretty positive at everything she does.
Like just nauseatingly positive.
Yeah, just like, I'm going to get this done, and I'm really good at it. Thank you. And you're just like, all right. But we always joke that if she hadn't met me, she would have just turned into Leslie Knope. So, Justin, do you feel like Haley's any TV character?
I do not know. I guess I've never thought of that before.
I mean,
and I'm also
not
scared of
it's
what
okay
my
to not
answer would
answer.
be.
Yeah, it's okay to plead the fifth here. Don't worry.
We'll find out if Haley listens to the podcast or not based on your answer and her response.
Right? Like our four listeners here.
Hey. Let me double check the stats. It's 5 now. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Jen logged in.
Jen logged in for our non-live streaming episode.
Right
now.
That was it.
Whoops.
Woo!
Well, here we are.
I actually don't even know if I'm subscribed because I can never figure
out. What the hell? Get the hell out of here.
I can't figure out how to
show.
You figure it out on my train wreck of a phone.
What has happened to your phone?
This thing yeeted itself.
Is that why you got a return response when you texted
Maybe.
them?
I tried to text you earlier and it said message failed for some reason.
Yeah, because I had the SIM card out. I was trying to I put it in the iPad thinking like, okay, maybe I can do some redneck engineering here and at least have something for the next 24 or 48 hours.
You thought you would get like your cellular
information. Right, because my iPad doesn't have a cellular data thing.
It looks like somebody ran over that.
You're not
it was
totally off. Yeah. Yeah, no. Actually, well, so the version that I tell people so they don't think that I have problems is that it fell out of the car little holder thingy and just hit just right where it cracked because it already had these cracks on the back and that's a plausible story.
I love the Scotch tape.
Is that so you don't cut your finger?
It's about to be masking tape all down this thing. Oh yeah, I've got pieces of glass in my ear now.
Oh my gosh.
The real version is I was trying to order some Martin's barbecue and their stupid website keeps directing you to the Ellington Parkway one. And I was sitting outside the 4th Avenue one. I was like, I just want my fucking barbecue. And it finally that was it. That was the straw. And I threw the phone across the car. I heard the crunch and immediately was like,
that one's on me.
There went my day. All right. I got it. Yeah.
How'd you explain that to Jen?
I lied. I told her the first version.
Okay.
We're going to find out if
Deleting.
she's listening now.
Have you thought about therapy?
So how are your anger management?
No, y'all got to die at this. This was immediately following my therapy. Like, I do weekly therapy. I'm a huge mental health advocate. That's awesome. But yeah, and I was like, I went to my therapy session. Everything was cool. I was on my way back.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, I'm going to swing by Martin's and grab some food. And that's when it went downhill.
That's
Yeah.
when that's when everything just went to boop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's funny because my therapy session was the most uneventful one of all time. So I was like, dude.
It's like, you doing what you're supposed to? Yep.
Yeah,
You
it's
doing
like,
okay?
man, life's
Yep.
good, work's good, just busier than hell.
And then you just had that trigger.
But how do you feel about getting Martins in a timely manner?
Yeah, F that.
Furious.
So now, of course, that's also on my daily commute right by there. In the past several days now, I've just been like, these
I remember getting so angry at somebody not mowing the correct yard as I was.
Oh, I forget your landscape. I was like, Jesus.
As I was grilling and I was
really
cleaning.
hates me.
I thought it was like, God, I mean, you
I
talk
was-
about like
it's
an
rough being Justin's
unofficial HOA.
We had a wood cleaner to clean off the grill, and I got so angry that I just took it and I just slammed it against the ground, and it broke
Really?
into a million pieces. And I was like, I need help.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I have problems.
This is not how a responsible person responds to things.
Yeah.
Aubrey, you see what Daddy's doing? We do something different.
I
Do what I say, not what I do.
I was
Exactly.
talking to someone the other day about how it's really weird to me how much of parenting is actually teaching a kid to self-regulate because you're so bad at self-regulating.
Amen.
And
Oh
you're
my
like, hey, kid, what I'm doing right now is not what I think a good, responsible person
Yeah.
should do, but it's what you're doing. That's my point.
Yeah, yeah.
Please be better than me in this area.
Yep, and I even remember growing up listening to my folks say the same. Like
Yeah.
they would say or do something. I don't even remember what now, but
Yeah.
the lesson I apparently stuck because it was like, do something different than what I'm doing here.
I'm trying my best. My best is not enough.
Yeah.
I need you to be better than
And
me.
that's what they say like is important. I mean, the more we learn about, I guess, actually pay attention to how people grow up and track this stuff and do studies and whatnot. They're realizing like, hey, everyone's human. You're going to lose your shit from time to time, but tell your kid you're sorry. Like, be human. Just be like, hey, you know what, Aubs? Like, I know I freaked out and just yeeted the phone across the street. Daddy gets mad from time to time. That's not how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it, and try to do better. Like you said, like try to do different.
to do
I mean, they're going to have to go to therapy for something. I'm just going to make sure it's something
Yeah.
new and exciting that I didn't have to go to therapy for.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Good way of thinking about
Here we are in the studio with Phillip. Is it Woods or Wood?
Woods, plural.
You're plural. Okay,
Multiple
cool, it's fine.
trees.
You're multiple trees. Cool.
it. Phillip Woods.
Woods of Gumbo to Go.
Yeah.
Welcome. You're a very easy person to talk to. So we'll see how long this episode lasts for. So you clearly don't have a problem with talking.
That's so weird because I'm like the most introverted introvert. That
Are you really?
Yes. Like I am.
No.
I have the same personality type as Wednesday Addams.
Do
Yeah.
you also sleep like this?
I do. I do.
cool.
Yeah. Actually, ask Jen. Like, I sleep like I'm a vampire in the coffin. Like, I just lay down. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to sleep.
I'm out. I'll see you in
Cross my
12.
arms, close my eyes, and that's it, guys. Game over. It's done. Jen, on the other hand, requires like 5 different sleeping pills,
Yeah.
a couple of shots of whiskey, and a hammer to the head to go to sleep.
Before he goes to sleep.
Yeah, right. And even then, it's real hit or miss whether or not it's going to work. But yeah, like I said, man, I'm like, all right, I'm going to bed now.
I'm out.
That's it. Done.
Yeah.
Peace.
Or at least used to be before I decided to start taking melatonin and Benadryl and
Yeah.
all that.
All the
Because,
good stuff.
a kid, yeah.
Aren't you? You're a medic, right?
Correct.
Don't you- So, like, should you be taking melatonin and Benadryl at the same time?
Yeah, no. Add some Valium in, a couple Xanax, chase it with a bourbon or two.
Did I forget to tell you this is your intervention? I'm sorry.
Oh,
I forgot.
And the sign
Okay, I'm
springs
sorry.
out and family
That
starts rolling in. Let me,
That was on me. That one's on me. I'm really sorry about that. How to not do an intervention.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Phillip.
Yes.
This is our second interview of the day. So I'm sure Justin and I's energy is also a little loopy. You just drove back from Memphis today.
Yep.
So let's see where this goes. You
There's
know?
no telling. It's going to be entertaining no matter what.
Um,
Just bear with us, guys. Hang in there. It'll be
I'm
fun.
going to be singing Frozen in the background, just slightly off key, apparently.
It's stuck in my head.
Yes, you're welcome.
See,
All
he
right.
can nail it.
At least, no, not really. Anyway, Phillip, Gumbo to Go. Tell us about it. What is it?
Well, I guess it's kind of self-explanatory.
Is it gumbo?
It is gumbo.
Where do you take it?
And it is to go. You buy it, and it's ready to go.
Nice.
What?
So you're from Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
So is making gumbo just like part of you as an individual?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say so.
Yeah.
So actually, I was born in Atlanta.
What?
I know. Went to Auburn for college. Family basically just dissolved during all that, and then moved to New Orleans. And so I kind of got my pick of, where's home now?
Okay.
And I picked New Orleans, and truly did fall in love with it. Like, it's in my blood now. If someone asks where I'm from, I say wholeheartedly New Orleans.
Cool.
I worked for New Orleans EMS as a paramedic. I was a paramedic before that, but I transferred there and got to work with some super, super awesome dudes, real high speed stuff, cutting edge of emergency medicine. They would actually send like the Special Forces medics and the SEAL corpsmen to ride along with us, because generally they would see more violent trauma in a handful of ride-alongs with us than they would in a tour overseas.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Now, not necessarily always the case. You go to like Fallujah or something, and you're probably going to get a little more action, but still, nonetheless, like, it was a pretty hot job. And then, I just fell in love with the culture, the people, the food. I picked up my wife there, so she,
You found her there.
Yep.
Did you? What did you study at Auburn?
Neuroscience, psychology, psychology with some biology thrown in there.
Casual.
Yeah, which it sounds super cool, but unless I just want to stay in school forever, there's
if you wanna do
absolutely
research
nothing I'm going to do
constantly,
with it. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So it was kind of actually a case. I started off in chemical engineering, and then started racing, and so I switched to mechanical engineering.
Okay.
And then I saw a bunch of my friends starting to graduate, and were just basically death by Excel or PowerPoint.
Yeah.
They would just be sitting in front of a computer all day, being literal rocket scientists, but they were like trying to do FEA analysis on one screw on one component of one part of one missile. It's like they didn't ever get to see any of the whole big picture. And so I kind of lost my love of that, and decided to dip out for a while, and that's why I went to EMT school and was like, oh, this is cool. Yeah. And then came back because my dad was like, look, dude, you're like 3 credits short. Like, you got to finish your degree. You got to do something.
That's fair.
So neuroscience was actually like the closest thing at that point.
Yeah. It was like Malpicket. That's fine.
Yeah. It's like, all right, I can do this and knock it out pretty quick.
Did you like living in Auburn? Auburn is like a pretty charming town. It's real small. They got some cool stuff there.
It is. I loved living in Auburn. I mean, there was a good chance for a while there that I would actually been there forever. It was a really cool place. Yeah. It's deceivingly wealthy. There's a lot of money from Atlanta that comes down there, and Birmingham and Mobile and whatnot. It's a nice little like kind of central spot where it's just a few hours from kind of anywhere. Yeah. There's actually a handful of Braves players that live there. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's very surprising.
Tim Hudson, my claim to fame is running into him in the store. And then I had a friend that ran into him at Home Depot there in Auburn, just like casual Saturday afternoon thing. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think of Auburn being very like agricultural based. I had some friends who did like a veterinarian school there, so they like work on horses and stuff like that. So I think of it being more country-esque, I guess.
And it is. Yeah. It is.
A rich country.
Yes. Yeah. It's very, very wealthy, very farmhouse-esque.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was an awesome place. I absolutely loved going to school there. I stayed there for 3 or 4 years after I finished. And that's also when I realized, I was like, man, I either am going to commit and be here forever and be just a paramedic at Auburn, which, man, there'd be absolutely nothing wrong with that. I was doing some cool stuff there, or go and see what else is out there. And my wife, or Jen, had actually moved to Auburn for a job shortly, and like she was, I don't think she was there a grand total of 6 months, maybe a year before she was like, hey, Auburn's cool and all, but I'm out of here. I'm going back to New Orleans.
Is she originally from New Orleans?
Around there, yeah.
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, she's not from in the city, but
then
we moved into like the midst of New Orleans and did that and did Mardi Gras, and we still do Mardi Gras actually every year. Cool. Yeah, both ride and cruise and go down there and just eat violent amounts of king cake and drink our weight in booze. Yeah.
My middle child the other day, her favorite colors have always been yellow and purple. And the other day, she was like, and green now. And I was like, are you a Mardi Gras flag?
Yeah.
She's like, what did you just say to me? And I'm like, I'll explain it later.
Never mind.
You're going to move to New Orleans later on in life. And then you'll be like, oh, this was what it was all about.
Yeah.
What made you move to Nashville? If you were I know haven't you lived in Nashville more than one time?
No. Okay. So it was, God, what a cluster.
Yeah. I
Moving
know.
to Nashville.
Hearing you talk about your life, like I did this, but then it didn't work out. Then I did this, then that kind of worked out. Then I did this, then that worked out.
So this is the fun of having ADD and no real clear path. You end up just bouncing around all over the place with what has really, I guess the baseline for me has been emergency medicine. That's something that I know I've loved ever since I was a kid. I mean, I grew up watching ER on Sunday mornings. I'd like wake up early and roll downstairs to watch the reruns of it.
Yeah.
But to move, let's see, Nashville, I know been working for New Orleans EMS for a while, and I didn't hate it or anything. I was just like, I'm kind of testing the water, see what else is out there. I think I just needed more money was what it really came down to. So that was the start of life, just getting a little bit more expensive. And of course, now I see that was just the apex of the roller coaster before we just went totally off the cliff. But yeah, I was like, I'll just see what's out there. And a friend of mine was working for Vanderbilt at the time, and he was from around New Orleans. I met him at a house party. Everything was kind of fuzzy. He was like, man, Vanderbilt's awesome. I love working for him. You ought to come apply.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I'll see what's what. And I did and got the job, and they were going to pay for a move and all. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Yeah. Okay, neat. So, basically it's no skin off my back, and I get to try something new. Let's do it. But then 2 days before I was supposed to leave to come up to Vanderbilt or up here to Nashville, like Jen had actually already moved up here. She was staying with a friend. Yeah. I think I'd either signed the lease on an apartment or had one, and they were like, we're just waiting on me to get up there to sign the paperwork. Yeah. But it was like my last shift at New Orleans EMS, or maybe next to last. Basically, I ended up having to go to the hospital because I had what turned out to be a hereditary bladder problem that short version is like kidney stones, but like way, way, way worse.
Okay.
And I had to go to the emergency room and had to have emergency surgery.
Oh, wow.
And it was like this whole big exciting thing. And as soon as I came out of my drug induced coma, I texted or called my HR person, was like, hey, this happened. I'm like, I'm still want to work for you guys. Like, it's only going to be about a 4-week recovery time because they did the whole thing laparoscopically. But, I am down and out for a couple weeks, and then I'll see y'all.
And I'm sorry.
Yeah. And they were like, okay, cool. No problem. Yeah. Like, get better. Call me when you get up here. Okay, will do. So went ahead and moved everything up there. Got better. Got in touch with them, and they said, ooh, yeah, no, so we just, we're not going to do it now.
What? Oh.
And I don't know whether they hired someone else or they just killed the position, or I have no idea. But they were just like, yeah, nah. And so we had paid to move everything up here, all this stuff, had no job. We were literally too poor to move back.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
we live here now.
Yeah. So
in the pod, and all of our stuff is.
Yes, I'm in the Connex container outside, and everything's great. The insulation's kind of crappy, but it's fine. It's fine.
Technically a roof.
Mm-hmm. So, but no, it all ended up working out because I actually ended up getting a flight job, which is kind of like almost the pinnacle of EMS, I guess. Like it's super, super cool. So I was flying with Air Evac was the company out of Bowling Green. I absolutely loved it. Did that for 2.5 years, something like that, before I just kind of finally was like getting burnt out on EMS. It's especially when you're operating at that level, where if the phone rings, you already know it's not a bullshit kind of call, like somebody that's needing real help.
Yeah. Which airlift means you get in a helicopter and fly to a location, get someone on a helicopter, and get them back to the hospital.
Yeah. So we were like the guys.
Yeah, it's
like
a pretty that's not a casual call,
right? Like you see the interstate shut down for a car wreck. Like those are the kind of things we would be responding.
That's what you
to.
land at.
Yeah, we would land on the interstate, and I've got some really cool videos on my phone of some of the places that we've had to land. If your phone worked. Yeah, if my phone worked. What was left of it here? It's in several pieces on the table. So yeah, man, I did that for a few years, and it was super, super cool. Loved it, but just got hit the kind of a burnout sort of thing, and it's like, man, I gotta do something else because again, ADD. Now it's time to bounce, time to do something different.
But also, those like career choices are pretty intense. Like you aren't like I wouldn't know if I would say that's ADD so much as like you're doing a pretty intense job.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't know how to mentally separate myself from that.
Yeah, and I mean, Jen says that I need to go to a lot to for it. I disagree. I think everything's fine. It's all fine.
That's what most people say.
Yeah,
before
they go. I just thing that drink. Says, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Throw my phone.
But let me go pick up a 12-pack on the way home.
Yeah, I got my therapy right here.
Yeah,
but like there is like you might have some PTSD symptoms from stuff you've seen in person. You know, like that's an actual responsibility. Mm-hmm. So you being like, I think I'm good for a while. I don't know if that's ADD so much as like, now I saw some horrible stuff. I kind of need a break. And the only way I can take a break from this is by changing jobs.
Right. Yeah. And
trying to empathize and give you some humanity.
I know. You're trying to really get
this is your, it's gone from intervention to therapy.
Where's a couch? I feel like I need to lay down.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And the other thing too is like, yet again, we're just making no money, basically. The flight thing is super duper cool, but I think they also realize that everyone wants to be a flight medic when they're in emergency medicine. Like, that is like the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to say they paid bad because they still paid, better. It was still a move up, but just still overall in the scheme of things and like medic versus say a nurse or something. I mean, the pay was just drastically different.
If you were like, I'm not going to do this job anymore, you don't pay enough, there'd be 30 other people who are like, oh, that's fine, I'll do that.
Right. Just as qualified as me.
They aren't as incentivized to offer more financially if they can choose whoever.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, those are all private companies.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt, Air Evac, AMG, Erlanger, they're all private companies when you kind of dig through the paperwork. Mm-hmm. So, I was talking to my brother-in-law at the time, and he does insurance sales, and he was making a killing. He's like, man, you ever thought about sales? I'm like, no, I really haven't. And, but, it was cool the way, of course, he kind of presented it, which is like, I mean, it hit right with what I was kind of looking for, which was to make money and have success based on merit, not based on politics, which is a huge thing in the EMS world. Okay. They promote people they like, basically. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, if I can do something that is entirely based on my work ethic, then I know I work pretty damn hard. Mm-hmm. Like, we'll give this a shot. So I found a small company that did medical equipment sales, specifically for EMS, actually. So that just worked out great.
Yeah, that worked out pretty well.
I just basically went through my phone book and started calling back everybody that I knew again, and ended up having some good success there.
Yeah.
Until I discovered that company was maybe a little too small, because if you weren't quite literally in the family, then you were very disposable.
I gotcha.
And the I guess the owner of the company, like when they were, I guess courting me or vice versa, the guy who was in charge ended up not actually really being the guy in charge. The person really over it, I think, was waiting on an NDA to run out from where he had sold his previous company and basically retired. And then they talked him into kind of coming back, and he was like, all right, sure, but I can't do it. So I'm going to have my protege be on paper.
Yeah.
And then when he came in to run it, it was just like, man, he and I's personality just did not work.
Yeah.
Like, it was, just doomed from the second he walked in the door.
Yeah.
Which sucks, because I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the people there, but still, at the end of the day, it was one of those. If I wasn't in literally the family, then
you knew where you stood.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
So let's see. COVID hit. I ended up getting let go from that job, because I'd say it, like, I hope none of them listen to this podcast, but like, dude, I got them to fire me. Straight up. I was just like, because they kept changing the comp plan.
You defined quiet quitting.
They kept changing things up on me and the sales team, and I ended up being like the last guy on the sales team to still be there.
Yeah.
And I even was hitting quota, like I was making my numbers, but I was kind of just like, F this guy.
Yeah.
He wants this. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
He wants things done this way. I'm going to do them a different way.
Yeah. And still get results.
Fire me, dudes. Yeah. I don't care. So they did. All right. That ended up being actually what I was trying to get at. So yeah, then they fired me, I guess it was February of 2021.
Okay.
And then in April of 2021 was when I started with this company that I'm currently with my friend, doing hard money lending for investment properties. Okay. And he was just getting that started, and he's like, I need a sales guy.
And I'll talk to people.
Well, I happen to know somebody, as a matter of fact, someone who's
available.
Looking. Yeah. Yes. I only have so much of the severance package left.
That's right. Yes. When was your daughter born?
December of 2020.
Okay.
So they fired me 2 months after she was born. Yeah. They I mean, I was kind of, again, I was like, I wasn't trying to get fired.
It was a mess, though.
But I just didn't care.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? As long as I'm making money for me and them, they can fire me or they can, kiss my ass, whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they ended up, they said they waited 2 months till after my firstborn was here, and they said, bye.
Said, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, I'd like to say no hard feelings towards them, but honestly, if I saw them on the street, I'd probably give them the middle finger.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. There's clearly a lot of bad blood there, and it's better that you're not there anymore. But
yeah, it could have gotten so much worse. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, they just it went from being like a very dynamic startup sort of scenario where it was like, hey, we got to make money. Everyone's got their job, but if you got an idea about doing something else, just do it, and we'll figure it out later. Try to make sales, try to do this, do marketing. Everyone worked with each other. And then, when this other guy popped up, it was like a night and day shift to corporate life.
That stinks.
It went, it got very corporate very, very quickly. Was passed over for a couple promotions that it's like, could they have gone, should they have gone with someone else? Maybe. Should they have also possibly just given me a heads up about what they were trying to, it kind of went from a
chance.
Or it was like I knew what the plan was and what the company was trying to do. We were all on the same page moving forward to, I don't know who I am or where I stand.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm talking that, overnight that happened. Yeah. And so, I was like, all right, whatever. Well, I'm going to make as much money as I can while I'm here, and then they'll get rid of me or I'll find a better job. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
When did you guys start doing, is Gumbo to Go your full-time gig now, or is it just when, I feel like you've got 50 plates spinning at once.
Yeah.
Some of them have already fallen.
Some of them are falling. Yeah. This is the quintessential, I think of the cartoons where they would open up a closet that was overstuffed and everything just come barreling out.
Yeah. That's kind of when you open up your phone in the morning. That's what it is.
Really is. My wife, she's looked at my phone in the mornings and been like, oh my God, I could not do this. This looks horrible. And well, you're right.
Well, this is my life.
Yeah. It's and you're not wrong, Jen. You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
But so Gumbo to Go actually started kind of also out of necessity.
Okay.
So let's see, we started the lending thing right on the back end of the peak of the real estate stuff going on. Mm-hmm. So we were growing that business. Life was good. It was growing. And then, oh God, I don't think it was even any one thing that happened, but basically, rates started going up. Mm-hmm. And,
that makes lending a little bit harder.
Yeah. It makes people tend to get a lot more picky.
Yep.
And thankfully with investors, it's not that extreme, not that bad. They just kind of change the numbers in their spreadsheets and keep looking for deals. And the deals are out there, but it does get a lot tighter.
Yeah.
And then we had issues with our own internal funding where, finding money was tough. Money was getting more expensive. Yeah. So we actually... God, I don't even remember what it was, but I guess it's not really important. Man, we were so freaking poor. Like, we weren't making diddly shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we actually had our car repossessed.
Oh man, yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, the car was repoed, and right around that time, I mean, it was cold, so it was winter months. I guess it was only this past year. Yeah, I made gumbo, and I would periodically make it, and it's one of those things that's hard to make it just in like a small quantity for just you and a couple people. You make like a batch of it, and a batch will feed about 8 people.
Yeah.
And so I'd make some maybe, and it's a comfort food. So with everything going on, I was like, I want some comfort food. So
Yeah.
I was making some gumbo, and had a couple friends that I'd text and be like, hey guys, I made some gumbo,
What's up?
Yeah, come grab some if you want it, sort of thing. And they would. And then a week or two later, a couple of them kind of text me and, individually, like, hey man, could you make some more gumbo? I'll just send me whatever, like a Venmo request, and I'll just, man. And if you can make some, like I'll just Venmo you for it. Yeah. I was like, okay, cool. Why not? That's $10 more than I had.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Quite literally, that was like making a difference. Yeah. And then they then told their friends, and their friends were sort of the same. And then people were like, hey, Thanksgiving's coming up. Can I order like a big ass chunk of it for, a family get together? And that's when Jen and I sat down and we're like, we're getting some demand here.
Yeah, I think so.
We're getting like a little bit of traction. And so we're like, okay, well, let's give it a shot. What we'll do is, we'll just sort of do a proof of concept thing where we'll make a little Instagram page for it. She came up with the name Gumbo to Go.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And I thought it was pretty awesome. Yeah. She's a marketing wizard.
Yeah.
And I can't hold a candle to what she's managed to do with this. I mean,
can make a gumbo, but
I
you
can
can't
make
promote it.
Right. I can make the gumbo, but without her, it would still just be like within the neighborhood.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So what we started doing was new parents. We would sign up for meal trains.
Yeah, that's smart.
And because we looked into it, and with a couple of small tweaks to my recipe, which I didn't change any of the character or the flavor, it actually was something that was surprisingly healthy and able to go all the way through for breastfeeding mothers. So we're like, well, this is snazzy. So like I said, we started putting the word out there like, hey, new parents, let's see, we'll give you a free like quart of gumbo. We'll just deliver it. And then if you like it, like, please buy some.
Yeah.
And so usually what happens was somebody would sign up for their friend who just had a kid, and then they would buy a quart too.
Yeah.
And the price we were charging, it would usually cover the cost barely of kind of both quarts.
Yeah, you're investigating. Like, does anyone really want this?
Yeah, it's like,
pay for this? Is there a market out here?
Right. And within 2 months, Jen was like, you got to get the hell out of the kitchen. Like, this place smells like gumbo the whole time.
Yeah.
There are vegetables everywhere. The fridge is like floor to ceiling meats.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to get a commercial space.
Yeah.
Then we had another kind of like sit down, like, oh my God, this is like a real business now. So I called my friend Jason Egley, who does insurance, and like he hooked me up with some business insurance and all, got everything squared away there so that we get sued, we're not in trouble.
Of course,
Right. So he's been awesome to me, and then got the LLC set up and just some of the basics. I'm like, all right, well, this is cool. We got us a little business, neat. And then I forget how it all transpired exactly, but one of the farmers market people found us and reached out, and we apparently are one of the only people in the city who make gumbo.
Yeah.
And so they're like, hey man, we don't really have anyone, so we're not going to make you do kind of the intro to markets, like the obscure one that's out of town that doesn't really get anything. We're going to put you straight into the big leagues at like, here's all the major markets in town. Sign up for however many of them you want.
That's really cool.
So
that's really lucky.
Yeah. It was just a huge stroke of luck.
Yes.
That, and then we're at Citizens Kitchen, which is a big commercial, like kind of incubator kitchen, where I love them because what they're thing is, they're like, we allow you to fail cheaply.
Yeah. I think Chris Chang said that also whenever was
probably, yeah. So that's something Alvin says up there a lot.
Yeah. It's a really good selling point. Mm-hmm. Because you're looking at your kitchen at home filled to the brim with stuff, and your wife is like, I just bought our groceries. Where do I put this?
Right.
And you're like, oh, I don't know. I got it somewhere else. And some guy's like, hey man, if you want to just test it out, here's my rate. I expect you to just try and come on over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. And so, we just started trying, and we got into these markets, and we started selling out, and I started scaling up the pots I was getting, and now I'm cooking out of the biggest pots they have at Citizens, and I'm like doing 2 or 3 at a time, and I cannot keep up. It's definitely a good problem to have, but it's still a problem nonetheless. Because here's the other thing too: is we have no investors, we have no spare money. I love all the great success stories of businesses. That then you find out like, well, my parents also dumped $50,000 into it. Like, oh, there it is.
Took out a second mortgage for this.
Right. Like that's what it is. We, like I said, our car was repossessed right before or as we were starting this, which we then got the car back. So that's yay. Yeah. Now we're looking at actually trading it in for a work van. Sure. I'd much rather be driving that around with Gumbo to Go slapped on the side.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But where was I going with that? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Again, ADD.
Sorry.
We had no money. So every single penny we're making, I mean, we're growing like 20% week over week.
That's awesome.
Right? It's just obscene.
You're also putting in a ton of work. You're doing like so many farmers market every week.
Yeah, we're doing 4 markets a week.
Yeah. I don't want to downplay how much work you guys do every single day.
Yeah.
And that's part of why you have that growth is because you're doing like 5 farmers markets in a week.
Yeah. Jen's up till 3 a.m. frequently, fighting her sleeping pill, doing Instagram stuff.
Yes. So you can grow your business because you're putting in the work. Yeah.
Yeah. So, definitely not going to discount the amount of work we have done for sure. But also it's like, wow. I mean, the fact that there's this demand, and I mean, everyone loves Cajun food, but apparently we're in a spot where there's just not a lot of really great options. There's a handful of restaurants around town, and some of them like Spicy Boys over in the East. Like he's good people, love him. He does it right. He does it legit. But then there's some others that aren't as great, and people know that they've gone there and they've been disappointed. And so
if I wanted to get a fried oyster po' boy in town, would I be able to get one?
I don't know, Justin, if you're listening, do you guys even have that? I don't know. He makes his own andouille sausage, which is freaking nominal.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's good.
Because
but I don't think he has fried oysters.
But when
I know where to get some oysters. South Coast Seafood.
Okay.
You'll have to then make your own po' boy. Like you have to go get some
oysters again.
Oysters.
But you know what I mean? Like whenever I think of like what is like even to get a beignet in town. Like, where would I go and get like a traditional beignet?
It's not beignet box. What's the lady's name? Hang on. I gotta like tilt my phone one direction to get the screen to work.
When we take a picture, you're going to have that
hold
phone.
up that phone because that's not the storyline of this podcast.
Right, this phone. I cannot believe this thing.
But more just trying to highlight, like there is. I've moved here in 2006. I've seen multiple like New Orleans Cajun themed restaurants try to work in Nashville and not work out. Like Brothers on Bransford, like that burger shop, that was a New Orleans themed restaurant beforehand that went out of business. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, you know where like Vui's is?
Yeah.
Vui's in Berry Hill?
Yeah, Are you talking about Brothers Burgers?
Yeah. Before that was a New Orleans theme, like a Cajun restaurant.
My phone's having a seizure. I'll get Natasha, the beignet bar. That's it. Beignet bar. But dude, she does good stuff.
The point I'm trying to make is that like I've seen a couple of Cajun or New Orleans themed restaurants in town not succeed. So like, but there's also like Cajun food. It's so distinct and it's so good.
Have you guys?
And it's very polarizing too. Like
apparently,
Yats.
Yats is good. Yats is good.
I love Yats.
I haven't had Yats. What's Yats?
I'm
fixing to kill your dream though.
Oh no,
dude, Yats is awesome. And actually, like, if I'm in the Franklin area, I'm like, man, I could really go for some fill in the blank Cajun. Yats is where I go.
Yep, that's
hands down.
Yeah.
But they're a chain. And
are they really?
They cook out of a commercial kitchen in Cincinnati or Cleveland, something like that. Have it all, most of it at least, frozen and sent down. And I mean, if that's changed over the past few years, then cool.
But versus what you guys
do. But the
do,
last time I checked, like that's kind of how they do.
Well, it's still good food.
It is still good, right? And their garlic bread.
Oh my God,
that is otherworldly.
What
and
is
they make that there.
What is that? It's like soy sauce, and I don't know what it is, but I could eat a ton of it.
I could eat that till I was sick, puke, eat again.
I usually get I will usually get an extra couple of slices when I'm there. I try to eat it at least once a week.
Yeah. It's good. It's really good. Put some crawfish etouffee on top of that.
Crack.
And you've got you an absolute fire meal.
Mm-hmm. But isn't there a decent aren't there a lot of New Orleans transplants that live in Nashville? Yeah. So like the need for what you guys are doing is clearly to the point where someone from a farmer's market would be like, you're doing gumbo, you do it well, get in here.
And that's also why, like, spicy boys like Justin and South Coast Seafood. Some of the other guys that do Cajun food, and we kind of get along. We're like all cool with each other, because even though I guess in theory we're competitors, there's enough mouths in Nashville. Like, it's no problem. Yeah, there's enough to go around. We don't have to compete, and there are a lot of Louisiana transplants throughout. It seems like there's a very heavy concentration of them over in the East, which makes sense because the East is kind of a New Orleans style area,
Is gumbo, is it technically a stew? What category of food is it?
I would put it in the stew category, sure. But what makes things a stew tends to be if there's tomatoes in it.
Oh, okay.
And tomatoes is something that I think, whether you're down in true Cajun country, like, Morgan City or Thibodaux or something like that, or all the way up to, Monroe or Shreveport, you don't put tomatoes in gumbo.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty common theme. It's something that we, are big on. But
you get shot if you do.
Yeah, apparently,
yeah.
The look in your eyes is like, if you dare tell me
tomatoes in your gumbo,
this
I will
interview
stab
is over
you.
right now.
Yes. So the funny thing is, there's a restaurant in town in Franklin that actually had some really good gumbo, and I was like, man, this slaps. Like, I was digging through it, figuring out kind of what all's in there, and I saw a tomato. I was like, oh man, come on, guys. Like, this is
dead
to
me
now.
You're like, I'm out.
Send it back to the chef. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you're thinking this right thing to do here. What's it like being a dad through all of this? Because your life seems to be like kind of like, all right, I have this job now, I don't have this job. Like a little bit ADD, right? Like, I have a job now. Blah, blah, blah. How old is your daughter?
She's 2. How old is she now? 2 and a handful of months. 2 and 4 months or something.
2 and some change.
Yeah, 2 and some change. That's actually that's what I tell people. 2 and some change. Yeah. I feel like, especially after 2, really after 1, you stop counting the actual months.
Once they get to 24 months, you're just like,
you
didn't even care in the
people
first
that
place.
are like, oh yes, my little baby's 77 months. Like, what? How the hell long is that? Hold on.
Okay, so 12 times.
I got to start unlacing my shoes so I can use my toes to count there. Hey, hold on.
And you do financial lending, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. You would be amazed how much I use the little just calculator app on my phone.
Right, yeah.
Hold on, 2 + 2 is still 4, isn't it?
4?
Let me double check.
That's what it was yesterday.
Apparently new math. I don't know.
No, that's how I feel though, scaling up the gumbo stuff too. I have had so many headaches sitting in the kitchen. I'm like, okay, I need 3 bell peppers times 2 batches, but I'm going to be doubling that batch. So now I've got to do by like 4. I always end up, every batch of gumbo ends up a little different.
Okay.
because
you're like, no, crap. Did I? Yes. No.
No, I do that a lot. Like, oh crap, did I put this in?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. I'm just going to toss some more in, see how it goes. Yeah.
No, maybe.
Yeah. Give it just a sniff. They could use more.
No, okay, yeah. Does your daughter go to the farmers markets with you guys, or what do you do with her?
So, child care in this city.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh my god.
That's why I don't work. It's why I'm a stay-at-home dad.
That's why my wife is still a nanny.
Yeah.
We're trying to get her. She's actually starting to kind of scale it back some because we need her more on the gumbo to go side.
Yeah.
But it's not uncommon for us to take Aubrey with us to the farmers markets, and then usually one of us is manning the booth and one of us is literally chasing her because she's like,
because she's 2 and some change.
Yeah,
she doesn't want to sit still.
Dude, she likes to take the stickers and peel them and go stick them on people.
That's awesome.
Like, not go ask you, hey, you want a sticker or not? Joe, she'll just smack right on your ass.
Great publicity, man.
Yeah,
right there.
Yep. She kills it. She's awesome, but yeah, I mean, it's been challenging to say the least. Growing a business with a kid and trying to wrangle her because she's also basically feral.
Yeah.
My wife is very, very strong ADD. I have ADD. She
doesn't stand a chance.
Doesn't say. Yeah, I know they can't diagnose it for a couple more years, but like, We know.
She has it.
Guys, we know.
And you guys don't have like any family in town either?
Zero. Closest family is about 4 hours away.
Okay. So if you're like, all right, we're doing a farmer's market, who can watch Aubrey? You're like, us?
Yeah. I mean, it's horrible.
It's not ideal.
It is that is probably the most difficult thing that I deal with day in and day out is just trying to figure out childcare. Because when Aubrey's nannying, she can't watch Aubrey most of the time, so I do. So because my job's like I bounce back and forth all over the world.
Okay.
So I'm usually watching Aubrey during the day, which is fine because we'll go to like Sevier Park or if the weather's nice, we always go somewhere. And I usually just let her run around and I work on like the iPad or what's left of my phone and just do the best I can. And most everybody, at least in the lending world, seems to understand like hey, post COVID we're all working from home or something. Yeah, we're all just trying to figure it out. So that's actually been really nice. People are generally very supportive, very understanding of like, hey, hold on a second. I got to go dig my kid out of this mud puddle over here.
I hear screaming. That one's mine. One's mine. Be right back.
Oh, isn't that such a funny thing? Like you can just hear screaming at the park. And like, nope.
That's my kid.
Oh, wait, that one's me.
Oh, yeah, I know that registry. Yeah. Oh, a little nasally. Oh, yeah, that's him.
And then the difference between like the just kind of social annoyed cry versus like the pain one. Yeah.
Whenever my girls, they're like 2 years apart. Whenever they play upstairs together, I'm like, is that a we're playing scream or a come up here now scream?
Right.
We're playing scream. Is it a for real playing scream?
Are you sure?
Or where are your sister's hands right now? Are they around your neck?
Yeah.
Like
my philosophy on it is, especially being a medic, it's like, is there blood? Have you tried to stop the blood and been unsuccessful? Okay, now I'll come up. Or same with fire. Like, okay, something's on fire. Cool. Have you tried putting it out? Yes, and we can't. Nope. All right. Well, I'll come help then.
That's a good flow chart. We should make that into a Phillip flow chart right there. It's like bleeding. Have you tried to stop it? Yes. No. You should try to stop it from bleeding.
Try to stop it first. Yes, I've tried. No, it has not. Okay, Dad can come help now.
All right, yeah. We'll start that. You can have that as the next Gumbo to Go merch.
There you go. That flow chart would be based off of one that I saw when I worked at Centennial Pediatric ER, which is like a filler job that I did for a while because most medics will tell you they have 3 or 4 jobs at a time anyway. So this is a pretty I'm actually really par for the course for the medic career with having other careers simultaneously. But anywho, there was a poster in the ER during flu season. It's like, do you feel like you've been hit by a train? No, you do not have the flu. Or yes, you have the flu.
You have the flu, yes.
That was it. Like
that was it.
That's all you need to know. You feel like you've been hit by a train? If so, you got the flu. If not, it's something else.
If I was a graphic designer and didn't have the handwriting of a 3-year-old, I feel like I could do an Instagram account of just sarcastic flowcharts.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Those are one of my favorite.
Actually, if there's not something like that, I think you'd be onto something.
So Aubrey is just super ADD, runs around screaming.
Yeah, and she's just the sweetest kid. Like she just loves to play. Yeah, I mean, she's quintessential 2-year-old. You know, God, I want to protect her innocence so much because I just know there's so much horrible in the world, and I just see her. It's just like, oh man, like you're just having a blast. Yeah. You just got nothing but giggles and like you and your trampoline and like that's So she just runs around a lot. I love the flexibility now of the jobs that I have because the Gumbo thing, like, we do the farmers markets when we're supposed to do those. Yeah. Besides that, I usually cook at night. I'll get to the kitchen around 9 or 10 at night after putting her to bed, cook till 3 or 4 in the morning, and then come home, get a couple hours of sleep, get up and go do my day. Yeah. And then, but yeah, man, childcare, it's just been the most ridiculous pain in the ass.
I mean, it's not even like a financial decision. It's just like availability.
Right. Like,
also,
I will pay y'all whatever you want. I will take out a loan. I'll take out a second mortgage just to cover the childcare aspect. Yep. And they know that too, so they do charge an absolute fortune. Yeah.
Yep. The supply and demand is like, this is basic economics, and it's working in your favor.
Exactly.
I know multiple people have hired nannies because they can't get into somewhere, but they still need to work. Yeah. So it's like, well, I guess how do we do this? I don't know. We find a nanny and pay them more than our mortgage every month.
Yeah. I mean, I see what Jen makes nannying, and she really undersells herself. Like the services she gives, like she should be charging way more than she does. But she likes it. She loves kids.
Yeah, she seems like a decent person who loves kids.
Yeah.
It's like, are you paying me to do this? This is great.
Like she's a kid at heart. So like she just loves it. The best thing that I ever did, or not ever did, that may be a bit extreme, but I got a pile of dirt dumped in my yard.
Okay.
And I needed
intentionally.
Yes, I did. Yeah, no, this wasn't like the mob. They've switched from horse heads on the porch or in your bed to just a pile of dirt in your yard.
You're going to be buried alive later. That's what
exactly. There you go.
Yeah, you know, I work for the mob. Forgot to tell you.
Yeah, it's oh god, the door's locked.
Sorry.
And here we go, and we're done.
Yep.
No, I needed like some filler dirt or something, and so I got on Marketplace. Like, hey, anybody got some dirt, basically? And somebody actually replies like, "Hey, man, yeah, actually, I'm a contractor, and we're digging out a basement down the road, and this will save me from having to take the dirt all the way out past, I don't know, Spring Hill or wherever the hell they were dumping it at." Like, cool, man. Yeah, come dump some dirt. Because how much do you need? A truckload or so? Yeah, a truckload.
Sure, a truckload. That's
good.
That
sounds good. Thinking pickup truck. Homeboy shows up with a dump truck. Not one of the small ones, the big ones. Yeah. The ones you see on the interstate with like asphalt. Yeah. So I have a 6 foot tall by 15 foot wide by 30 feet long pile of dirt in my yard.
No. And you rent, right?
No, we bought.
Okay, I was going to say your landlord just shows up and is like, what the?
So funny story. Actually, a good friend of ours that lives a few streets over got the same dirt from the same guy. And he rents.
Okay.
But the landlord got it. That was it. Because he showed up or came back from work one day and there's this mountain in his front yard. I was like, what?
Could you have texted me?
Heads up, maybe?
Nope, not at all.
No, but that's ended up being the best thing for Aubrey.
Okay.
She freaking loves it. She'll climb in it. She digs in it. She looks for worms. She just loves her pile of dirt.
That's fun.
And, I took the like 1 5 foot by 5 foot section that I needed for my filler.
Yeah.
And now I was like, what do I do?
I don't know.
So I'm thinking about just opening up the little side gate where they dumped it one day and putting like free dirt there. And
come get your dirt.
Yeah, just come get your dirt. Like I'll BYO shovel.
BYO shovel. That's right.
And truck, probably a pickup truck, not a dump truck.
Probably a pickup truck.
Yeah,
definitely a pickup truck.
So lessons were learned. Need to, adjectives are important.
They usually are.
Yeah.
Tell me about the crawfish boils. You guys have been doing some crawfish boils lately, haven't you?
Yeah, man, we've been doing some crawfish boils, and we usually do them at our house. We usually do like one a year. That's just friend. I usually say friends and family, but like we covered, like I have no family here. So just friends.
Friends that are like family.
That really is the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, we've made our own family here.
Yeah.
The first one was like success beyond our wildest nightmare. Kind of like Gumbo to go. Like, oh God.
Oh, crap. People really like this. Oh crap. What did we do?
Oh no. Send someone to the store real quick.
Yeah.
We need sides.
Basically.
And that one was a lot of fun. We do we don't do a ton. It's not like in New Orleans where on any given day during crawfish season, you just kind of can sniff it out in your neighborhood. You get home from work, Eddie down the street, he's throwing together something.
There's about 30 minutes left.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
I'm going to grab some beer, change real quick, and head down And like, that's a thing, too. Like, you just do that. You'll just show up at your neighbor's house.
Yeah.
Whether you know them or not, that's totally irrelevant.
Yeah.
Just
show up,
bring some beer. Hey guys, smelled some crawfish. That's the thing I loved about New Orleans and love about the neighborhood we have found here in Nashville is it is very, very community oriented, very tight knit group. Everybody helps each other. I mean, I know everybody 5 or 6 houses up in any direction and number of people in the neighborhood. I mean, you guys come to find out are basically in the neighborhood, just on the other side of Nolensville.
Yep.
So, I love that aspect of it. And that's kind of what we did with the crawfish boils here is we just have crawfish and send out the word. And if you want to come by, come on by.
Yeah. I think of with like New Orleans culture is very communal.
Yes.
To some extent.
It
so that's
is.
cool that you're able to that you guys have been able to recreate that and start to do some roots like that, I think is really cool.
Yeah. We love that. I mean, like I said, that was a huge sell point for the neighborhood too, because we were renting actually the house across the street.
Oh, really?
Yes. And we were in a position to buy. And so we were looking at houses and whatnot. And we came home from looking at houses, and the guy was putting a for sale sign in the yard and literally just threw it in park, walked over. And was like, hey, man, you might have to take a quick glance at this house. And like, yeah, sure. You can do it. And 10 minutes later, it's like, just pull the sign right back out of the yard. Like there's no point here.
When asking Jen about it at 12 South the other day, she's like, I guys walked over and picked up the sign. That was ours.
Yeah, that was basically it.
No, you're good. I'll take it.
It's all good, fam. This is ours now. Thanks.
Dibs.
Sign here.
That's really cool. Does it feel, I'm from the Midwest. I feel like whenever I meet other people from the Midwest, I'm like, yay, there's more of us here.
Yes.
Do you feel like that with people from New Orleans?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Because it's a type.
Yeah.
It's this immediate feeling of family. Like they know, they get it.
Yes.
And yeah, that's the cool thing about Nashville over the past many years now is there's been so many people moving in. Of course, we've got the huge influx from California, but really just all over the country. Yeah. And it's really created this awesome like melting pot.
It has
everywhere. And, so that's been a lot of fun to not only find our own New Orleans, but everyone from everywhere and find out, about different areas. Like, I know we've just started doing crab cakes at the farmers markets due to really just kind of demand. Like people have been asking about.
Really? I consider that more like Baltimore and East Coast.
Right.
And Louisiana.
I would too, but people are like, oh, you guys make gumbo? That's cool. Y'all ever do like crab cakes or something? Like,
and whenever people ask you, you're like, I guess we do now.
Yeah, for sure. That's really what happened. So we started doing crab cakes, but then we ran into people from Baltimore and good God, what is happening over there?
Sorry, man.
I just hear this crashing noise. Dude, it is hotter than Hades in here. God, it is balls. All right. So I'm not the only.
Feeling nauseous because of it.
Really? Can you go take a step outside real quick?
Prop open the door. I don't think it's still raining.
You can probably prop open the door and I'll tell you if I can hear too much. Ooh, that is spooky. That is spooky.
Too loud?
I think we're fine. If not, here's the thing.
I would rather deal with a little bit of background noise than you hurling.
Mr. Not editing the episode later.
Yeah.
But man,
2 out of 3 people in the room are really pro door open. No, you know what?
Bruh.
We've done it with kids crying in the background. You know what? We started the episode being like,
just fuck it.
So here we go. It is very hot in this room.
Yeah,
and
man,
we have
just need to get some type of AC in here.
And the fun thing is, like, of course, y'all caught me like my wife had to drop me off. We just got the one car, which during COVID and all worked out great. Yeah. But now that we're kind of coming out and like everyone's having to commute and do stuff again, we do need another car.
Same.
But any hoozles, like normally I have like little vials of Zofran just kind of laying around.
What's Zofran?
It's an antiemetic, so it'll help you if you're feeling nauseous. Oh, okay. Now, if you're already puking, we're gonna have to take it a step further.
So you just have those on you?
Yes, we just have them I would have them laying around.
Like, is that a normal thing?
Well, it's a normal thing in my world, but then come to find out it's not normal in everyone else's world.
Hey, you're probably nauseous right now, right?
Yeah. Do you need? Hold on, man. Here you go.
That's you have like IV a
little dime bag.
Yes. You look a little dehydrated. Yes. Come over here for a minute.
So that was the other thing. Like, so in Auburn, I did a brief stint on the SWAT team as a medic on that.
As one does.
Yeah.
And it was super kick ass. But then I ended up moving before I really got into that, which sucked because that would have been super, super cool. Like some of my absolute best friends in life are doing that now. Okay. And I mean, we still have a group thread where we talk about very politically incorrect shit. But so I have bags of stuff laying around because when doing that, you had to be ready to go from wherever you were to, respond to something. Like you
never knew.
Occasionally, usually you knew what you were going to be doing that day, but sometimes nope, hey, you drop what you're doing and come here.
Yeah. Do you feel like since you are a medic, is your anxiety of what can go wrong with your daughter, do you feel like it's higher than other people, or do you feel like you're more prepared than you expected to be?
That's actually kind of a good question because yes and no. On the one hand, I feel like I'm more prepared and she bonks her head or something. today, I hate to say, she whacked her head on the door of the car really good. Like it was one of those, like, you heard it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, pause.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
And then she started crying. And in my world, crying babies are good babies. Because when they stop crying, that's when it's bad.
Yeah.
If they don't have the energy to cry, then you better be paying attention.
Of course.
So, like I said, like I hear her crying. It's like, okay, good. She's not hurt that bad. But also when it's your own kid, like that just tears at you. Like it pulls on your heartstrings so bad. And so, on the one hand, I'm like, I'm more prepared. And I'm aware of like kids bounce more than probably most. Like, man, just go for it, Aubrey. We'll see what happens.
Well, when you throw them into the car door, they don't bounce.
The car door is actually what bounced on that one. So come to find out.
But kids usually bounce back.
Yeah, they generally not bounce back, like they literally just bounce. Like, boing, but no, I'll say as long as they're crying, like it's fine. But when it's your own kid, you're like, oh my God. Like
it doesn't matter what head knowledge you have.
And it's weird, like I used to work at Centennial Peds. And I loved that job and kids didn't bother me or anything like that. But now I'm sitting here thinking like, man, if I got a kid, like an Aubrey's age kid, I know like the Covenant thing, like those kids were older, but if something like that happened and I was having to take care of my kid, or not just my kid, but like kid that age, like, I don't know how I would react. And that's like, it's different now. It's definitely different. And I've had medics that have, not been able to finish calls because they've had situations, maybe trauma, or not trauma, but abuse situations of kids that are around the same as theirs. That, they'd have to call for like an ambulance intercept and like get another medic on board because they're like, I can't.
I mean, not the same thing, but after having a couple of kids watching movies in which like kids are abducted or anything like that, it's one of the things where, like, I remember being like a teenager, being like, oh, a kid got abducted in this movie. And I'm like, oh, that sucks for that kid. Yeah. And, like, that was the level of my empathy as, like, a 16-year-old. Because you're like, man, it sucks, I guess. I hope I don't get abducted. I feel
so much more empathetic now, but also to the point where, like, man, I hope I don't have to deal with that because I don't know if I'd be able to really keep a really good, cool head, straight head in that sort of situation.
Yeah. I just read through a book where in the middle of the story, it's like a couple, and it's like a 1-year-old's birthday party. And like they think someone's watching the kid near the pool, and they end up walking away, and the kid drowns in the pool. And he's like 1-year-old, and like I'm reading that story, and I'm like, I kind of have to take a break from this chapter. And like I know there's resolution, there's a whole other half of the book, but like I'm reading that chapter, and I'm like, I can't go to sleep now. Like now I'm like, I mean, granted it's a story, it's not something that really happened, but like what empathy and what fears you have now as a dad are so drastically different. Where you have to kind of stop, and you're like, oh, I can't. This is a story, and I know this is a story, but I'm weeping reading this story for people that don't exist. Yeah. And I mean, like I've always been really good at just shutting off emotions. Again, something I probably should see a therapist about. Yeah. But it does actually help in your job. Though. Yeah. And I think my job, I think I've just, because of my family situation growing up, I developed that skill and then I honed it in emergency medicine. Sure. But yeah, with Aubrey, like I just don't know, like would I be able to shut it off? Yeah. Would I be able to just perform and do what needed to be done if say we were in a bad situation? Yeah. And I've even rehearsed it in my head because again, I mean, it's not like this happens all day, every day to people, but I've seen enough to where I'm like, okay, what if I had to throw a tourniquet on her? Yeah, absolutely. What if I had to, do something? Like I try to play those scenarios out so that if it does kind of happen, I'm like, all right, I've already played through that. I already know and can recognize that emotion and know when to shut it off. Yeah. But also, like with my own kid, I don't know if I can shut it off. With other people, I got no problem. Yeah. Just click, we're off. Now I'm going to help you. Now I'm going to get you the help that you need. Right. Yeah. I'm just like an emotionless troll. Yeah. It's weird. Actually, that's how I usually walk around through the day. Like Shrek. I think it's odd to be a parent because you spend a lot of your day thinking of worst case scenarios. And then wondering, why did I think about the worst case scenario all day? Yep. Because, you're sitting there like, okay, so if Aubrey breaks her arm, what's around me that I can tie onto her until I get her somewhere safe? Right. And then you're like, all right, Phillip, is that happening today? Yeah, no. No, it's not. Is that a realistic fear? Like, no. Is this methyl lab going to explode and no. No, it's not. But for some reason, your head goes to like, all right, what's my worst case scenario? Am I prepared for this? Yeah. And then you're like, why is that? Like, why? Like, I'm not even paying attention to my kid anymore. Yeah. Why is that in my head? Why is this in my head? But it is, for some reason.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I even then take that to another level too, because like Jen has always made fun of me because she calls me very tactical, and I'm not. I'm very practical.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I generally have a pocket knife on me, like most guys, and only because I am a medic and I have this, so I have this like little flashlight thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And like, you know, I mean, in my car, I've got like a little med kit and some tools and some other just random crap that's just very, very practical. But like, I love it. I love thinking too about like not worst case scenarios, but you know, just like being prepared. Like I always want to be like that person that is just prepared. Like, nothing's gonna get me off my game because I'm ready for it. I'm expect the unexpected sort of thing.
And you can back it up because you're a medic. So
Yeah,
like you're not just like a dude with expired IV bags in your car.
You're right.
Man, I'm glad you live in town. I feel like you and Jen seem like ridiculous but very fun people.
Yeah, that's a good. Jen has a shirt that says "weird but nice," and I'm like, that is it, man. That describes us to a T. Just weird but nice,
But very welcoming at the same time.
Yeah, we're if anything overly friendly. We actually told my some neighbors that when they were moving in. It's like, look, if anything, we're going to be too friendly. Like, so just tell us to shut the F up and go away if you need to.
This is a safe word.
Yeah.
Whenever I've gone too far. Okay, cool. We won't see you in a week. You said the word, and thank you very much.
Well, see you later.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
All right. Before we wind down the episode, since we've talked about literally everything, is there anything else about like fatherhood you want to say or communicate?
Man, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things. Like it's been such a just a roller coaster. Obviously, everyone tells you. I think when your wife gets pregnant and you're starting to plan all that stuff out, they're like, "Oh man, and enjoy it," and it goes so fast and on. And like I believe them. Like when my dad told me that, I was like, "Man, it goes fast, dude." And I'm like, I believe you, Dad.
Don't doubt it.
I believe it, but holy shit, does it go fast?
It really does.
Oh my god!
It's like the one piece of not advice, but like the common thing you hear where you can't discard it. Like other things you make, oh, that's not that true. It's like it goes by fast, and you're like, no, literally, my kid is 20 months now.
Yeah.
When did that happen? Like,
what happened? And I feel bad. I'm like,
to describe.
Did I like? It's like I blacked out or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even
attention.
remember anything. But like, it just went so fast. But man, it's been so rewarding and so much fun too.
Yeah.
I mean, so Aubrey was with the in-laws this week, and that's what we were doing. Memphis was picking her up kind of halfway.
Yeah,
and I would love to say that Jen and I were like super productive this week and got all kinds of crap done. But without Aubrey there, actually, like we didn't know what the hell to do with ourselves.
man.
Like Monday, I got so much done. It was just unreal. Tuesday kind of faded off some. Wednesday, I don't think I put on pants.
Sometimes that's what you just need,
Dude,
man. You need to relax. You need to just not.
But at the same time, like, man,
put
I'm
on some pants.
Yeah, put on some damn pants, man. Especially
do the no pants dance, man.
But the guy at Kroger, he was the one that really had the problem with that.
Come on, sir.
You've got to
Please
put on
put your
some
pants back
Are
on.
you aware you aren't at home anymore, sir?
Yeah. So by Thursday, man, I was just like, it was bad, guys. It got
Thursday, you were
weird.
just naked,
Yeah.
just chilling.
I was sitting out in the front yard with a beer, just naked. Like
That's what the police cars are driving over.
that's
to.
what that was for. Yeah.
That makes more sense. It is weird though, because like I feel like being in like mid to late 30s, you create all these habits hoping to do something that's like good and healthy, and then it's like, okay, such and such isn't here, so I'm not going to do those habits anymore. And you're like, oh, why do you have a headache? Why do you feel kind of sluggish and stuff? Well, all the like good habits I formed, I decided not to do, and now I'm kind of reminded why I do all those good habits. But also, I'm tired of doing those good habits.
Yeah, it's like I need a break, but if you get a break, you're screwed.
You kind of
like,
are.
Yes, and so I figured if it's nice if I can get someone to take Aubrey for maybe a day or two max.
Yeah.
But after that, like my routine was just thrown all to shit.
Yeah.
I didn't have to get up at balls early in the morning, and therefore I didn't get work done early in the morning. And so. Yeah, man. I mean, like not having her around obviously missed her, but like that just really threw Jen and I for a total loop. I mean, Like she didn't get off the couch for like a full day. I didn't get out of bed for a full day. I mean, and I wasn't even. We weren't proud of it either. No. We were like, why can't we do anything?
I don't set an alarm on my phone to wake up in the morning. Like unless it's like you have to fly out or something like ridiculous.
Like I have my SpaghettiOs alarm at like 8 or 8:30 or something. It's like if somehow nobody has woken me up by then something is wrong and I need to get up.
All right. Are you familiar with our episodes to know the 5 questions that we end our episodes with?
I know the question. Well, I don't remember the actual questions, but I know there was questions at the end.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. So, all right.
Here we go.
What was Aubrey's backup name, or did you have one?
Well, we didn't really have one because as we were naming her and going through, we just had to make sure that it passed the stripper test.
Okay. So no cinnamon or...
Right, that was the one I came with. Cinnamon, sprinkles. Right. So as long as we were like, okay, nobody knows a stripper by this name. Yeah. Or didn't sound like a stripper.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you know a lot of strippers?
You caught that. Good.
So you didn't have any backup names?
No, I don't think we had backup names. I mean, we went through. We have favorite names for if she had been a boy or if we have a boy next time. We're probably gonna try to have one more kid at some point.
Okay, yeah.
But
if it is a boy, what would it be?
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
Benjamin Button.
Benjamin.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, I know. But my best friend's name is Benjamin, and Jen had some connection with the name Benjamin that we liked a lot, and so yeah.
Nice.
But we knew she was going to be a girl, and the ultrasound lady was super on. She was like, "No, this is a girl, damn it." She's like, "I've been doing this 30 years. I'm sure."
Trust me, this is one.
Yeah, but we didn't. So we did the whole gender reveal thing. But what we did was we had a friend paint our dogs. We like to do things different.
Oh, wow.
A little different. And it was like pet friendly paint, So we did the whole thing. We're standing out on the side porch, and they opened up the door, and our dog came out pink. And I was like, and then he stayed pink for 6 months. That stuff did not wash out.
Bet.
Okay. Do you have a favorite TV dad?
No, I don't think so. Darth Vader's who I really look up to the most.
And that's a movie, so you can't say that's an
TV
answer.
dad.
So,
exactly.
You know what? You started on that movies.
So I'm not a big... I actually... so weird. God, how old am I sounding now? I'm definitely dad. Like, I try to stay away from that TV. No, because really what it is I get hooked on a show. Oh, yeah. Like, God forbid. So that's what happened with Game of Thrones for us. When Aubrey was born, we were like, okay, well, we need something that we can be watching at 3 a.m. when we're...
That's interesting.
Yeah. And so we did. And man, I didn't go to work for a week.
Game of Thrones, Jamie. That's a perfect...
Yeah.
Jamie Lannister. Yeah. Such a dad figure. Right.
But what about growing up? Did you have any dads? Did you watch TV much growing up or anything like that?
Yeah, but I was such a nerd. I watched ER.
Oh, okay.
No dads in that.
No dads really in that. George Clooney, but that's not a great dad figure. But that's
well, let's go with Darth Vader.
Yeah, Darth Vader sounds like a
tries
dad.
to reconnect with his son.
He does
very
try.
Loving story.
He goes through a lot to try to reconnect with his son. Think about what he was giving up with the Emperor.
He was trying to get back with his son.
Ultimate and his power in the universe to be like, hey, Luke, let's be homies.
Yeah, basically. It cost him his life, like a true father.
It did. Yeah.
All right. Least favorite kid show or movie?
Cocomelon all day. God, please freaking rip my head up. So fucking.
We stopped watching it after about 2 weeks.
Oh, we didn't hardly even watch it. It's just no, it's actually harmful for their development.
It is.
It switches screens so frequently that it's terrible for their brain.
What neural pathways?
Yeah,
forming
exactly. You need
it
to stay on frame for at least 4 seconds.
Yep.
And if you go through, you'll get to 1,000, 1 with that 1,000. Yeah.
Where you're just oh, is this intentional?
This is bad.
I think this is a little bit intentional. We're with you, apparently.
But I'm all for Bluey, man. Bluey's my dog.
Man. Yeah.
Blue is where it's at.
It's so good.
Dude, although really, I could also make the argument for him being my least favorite because, damn, does he set the standard so high.
The guy who created Bluey has also been on record to say, by the way, you can't live up to Bandit.
You cannot do this.
It's just so you know, none of us are Bandit. If you think you are, you're not.
You're not. You're lying to yourself.
It's a person's I found inner peace. No, you haven't.
No.
Next question. Favorite kids' toy? Is it the pile of dirt? Like your favorite thing to play with Aubrey? Is it
Yeah,
the pile of dirt?
it is. Because also that takes me back to my childhood, like playing in dirt, looking for worms to go fishing with my dad and stuff. Like, that one hits home for me to like just to play with her in the dirt, and then she loves it to death. And
That's awesome.
she'll come and grab me when I'm usually sitting at the table like trying to work or something. She's like, Day, come on. And she'll like grab your shirt, and she'll pull me outside and to just go play in the dirt.
Play in the dirt.
Say, all right, well, guys, I'm not working today. I'm playing in dirt.
I'm playing in dirt.
And I love it.
And it's really sweet.
It is so much fun. We had a little terrarium thing started where we found some worms under some logs that I had and threw them in I don't know. It's like kind of like this Topo Chico bottle with just some dirt and a piece of lettuce that I had that was going bad and put a lid on it. And there we go.
What moment of your kid's life are you most excited to be a part of?
Ooh. Oh, that's,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, having a daughter, I think the go-to answer would be the wedding, but honestly, I haven't thought much farther ahead than her being about 7 or 8 years old. Like that's as far as I've managed to get in my head.
Yeah.
I think her first day of school is going to be a big one.
Yeah.
Having her little backpack and all. Cause so when my family kind of dissolved, I was around 7 years old or so. And so the early memories that I have of a complete family, would have been around my first few years in school. Right. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's going to be really big for me is sharing those memories of when I had a full family.
Yeah.
As she has a full family, and so I'm really like I play that over and over in my head of like taking her and dropping her off at school her first day and all and like that. I mean, just the thought of it, it's like, I get choked up,
There's a whenever our daughter started kindergarten, it's like you have a kid, you hang out with them, you play with them and stuff. But like whenever they go to kindergarten, whenever they lose their first tooth, it's like there are these little like rites of passage with your child. Where you're like, oh, you did this. Yeah, that's so cool.
We had a little one today. Like we flipped the car seat around.
Yeah,
facing forward now. She's like she was getting folded up in the back, and I was like, damn,
my legs are way too long for everything. So you just turn around and it's safe. But there are these weird little moments where you look up and you're like, oh, I'm doing this.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, there's like, oh man, this is a memory right here. Like I'm glad I'm part of this.
Yeah, right.
And with you being a stay-at-home dad and me basically being a stay-at-home dad too, it's like, when I think when I go to drop her off at school the first day, that's going to be big because then it's also what do I do with my hands?
Pretty much, Whenever my youngest is old enough to like do something like that, I'll be like, oh, I have to redefine myself now.
Yeah. That's a big thing. It's like, who are we without kids?
I don't know.
I mean,
apparently pantless.
Pantless and wandering around Kroger eating an entire pie. I'm notorious for just sitting down and eating an entire pie.
Hey man,
just in one go. Like I was doing that like way too frequently too for a while there, and oddly enough, I wasn't gaining weight. So I was like, "Okay, man, all right."
You had no negative consequences,
right?
Like, the
there
pie's
was
telling
nothing.
me I should keep on doing this,
and they were like a whopping $6 or something too. Yeah. So it's not like there's even financial consequence. Like I spend more than that at a coffee shop. Easy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's one scone at a coffee shop.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've gone to Starbucks many a time and come out $20, $30 later and like, what did I even get?
How did I do that? Anyway, Phillip, if people want to follow Gumbo to Go, what's like your Instagram handle?
At Gumbo to Go TN.
Sweet.
But it's Gumbo to Go GEAUX because
we're
like Cajun,
spelling.
right? Yeah. So you got to spell it the right way.
Which I mean, I think would just make Go plural if you go with the correct French.
Yeah.
So
it's Gumbo to Goes.
Yeah, it's
Gumbo to Go.
Gumbo to Goes.
What all farmers markets are you in?
So we're at Richland Park on Saturday mornings. Let's see, 12 South is on Tuesday afternoons, and Wedgwood Houston on Wednesday afternoons.
Sweet. And if anything changes with that, by the time we release this, follow you on Instagram.
Yeah, and more than likely things will have changed in one way or another. So who knows? I may be in a totally different career altogether by then.
Basically, you never know.
So just check in with Instagram because my wife and I both monitor and are very, very active on that page. So if anyone wants to reach out, anyone wants some gumbo, just holler.
Yeah, sweet.
Awesome.
Thanks for being on, man.
Thanks,
really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Yep.
See you.
Thanks again for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Nashville Dads and to subscribe to us on Apple and Spotify podcast. We record at New Light Podcast Studio and episodes are produced by me, Devin.